Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast, a podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. And this is our first episode of 2025, so that's exciting.
Woohoo!
And my name is Joe. This is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline.
Hey!
Who is on brand and is crafting as we talk. So if you're on the YouTube, make sure you obviously
Slam that like button, smash subscribe, ring that notification bell.
Yes, please do that. You can watch her in real time make me something, and I will let her explain what she is making.
Well, so I made the kids rainbow loom bracelets this afternoon that glow in the dark. And the kids were very excited to show them to Joe when he got off work today. And so I asked him.
They glow in the dark, you guys.
I asked him if he wanted one as well.
Allegedly. I didn't actually see it. Elliot must have forgot to show me.
I think he forgot to show you. And Joe said, yeah, because it glows in the dark. It was a no until I told him that it glowed in the dark, for the record. So I'm going to be making him one. Well,
they're UC colored, so if you're also watching the live stream, you've noticed the Nippert Stadium behind us, the historic Nippert Stadium.
Now with flickering beer mugs behind us.
Home of my Cincinnati Bearcats.
Your Cincinnati Bearcats are Cincinnati Bearcats,
well,
if anything.
I mean, someone went to a different school. But we're not talking about that. We are talking about...
We could.
This is kind of a craft beer podcast. I mean, if you've followed along in December, you've noticed that...
we talked about craft beer a lot.
We exclusively talked about craft beer.
Mm-hmm.
27 episodes.
Yep, 26 beer event episodes, and then an episode about Tafts.
Plus an episode about Hearth on the 30th of November.
Yeah, so that was 28 episodes in a row.
So
go us.
Yeah, that was something. That was something else. But Caroline, you have a very special beverage in front of you. So tell us what you are drinking.
I do. We still have to make it out to Westside because Westside, and we need to get our mug. But I am drinking a Barelywine style ale. Barelywine style ale.
Yeah.
From January 1st, 2021. It is 11% ABV and 64 IBUs, which are made up and don't matter.
Yeah.
And their description is brewed once a year in December for a release the following January 1st. Our Barelywine style ale is a beer to drink fresh or age. Intense with a subtle date-like fruitiness that goes perfectly with a big layered malty body. Classic American hops add firm bitterness and a bit of dryness to the finish to help balance the malt. And it's still doing really good. I'm going to use my Christmas wishes and mistletoe kisses coaster that my brother-in-law made us.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but
not so much. I mean, especially mine's pretty much washed out. It looks really good in person, but it's hard to see the contrast. Yours has a bit more contrast.
Yeah. I'll get him the transparent logo so we can do that. Mm-hmm. But we have coasters with our logo on it.
Yep.
Never thought I would see that. But thank you to my brother for making that with
They're slate coasters. They're super nice.
With his laser engraver.
Yeah.
And, what were you going to say?
Well, and spreading joy this Christmas season by your mom trying to remember what it is that he has in his garage that does this. She's like, that 3D engraver, that printer laser thing you've got. You had to remind her like 5 times what it was.
Yeah. It's a laser engraver, Mom, if you were listening. Hi, Mom. But I decided that I am going to take part in Dry January, which some people were not on board with. obviously.
Maybe I'll do like a dry March or a dry April. You just like sprang it on me. Like, I think it was like January 1st. You were like, oh, I'm doing dry January.
It was before that.
And I think like you told me before that, but I forgot about it.
Yeah.
But
in my world, in my rules that I guess I just made up, non-alcoholic beers count in dry January.
wait, they count as alcohol?
No, they count as non-alcohol.
No, that's the point. Like, Sam Adams is like, hey, you're doing dry January. Like, we have an NA beer that doesn't taste like an NA beer. Come have it. That's what breweries are trying to do to survive dry January.
So yeah, that's what I'm partaking in today. So this is an Untitled Art Juicy IPA. Obviously, it's very little, less than 0.5% alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a beer. It still has the warning on it because it has to, I guess. 55 calories, 12 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein. I'm trying to find the description.
Which
I don't think they do.
They did that on their cans.
But,
this is from when we did this is how much we drink NA beer the rest of the year. This is from when we did that NA episode on like that whole mixed pack a while ago.
That was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It holds up. It holds up very well. So you are drinking the aged barley wine, and I'm drinking the aged non-alcoholic beer, which it doesn't matter because it doesn't have alcohol. So I guess.
I mean, isn't that a juicy IPA? I don't think you're supposed to age juicy IPAs.
No, but you can taste it if you want. It doesn't. It tastes normal. As normal as an NA beer can taste.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It tastes like a juicy IPA. With some of the hops fell out, for sure.
That's okay. I don't.
But you don't like the hops, so that's fine.
Yeah. So in this episode, the first of the year, we thought that it would be a good opportunity to take a step back and look at 2024. And then kind of talk a little bit about where we want to go in 2025. So kind of our favorite moments from 2024. I have a list off to the side, which is why I'm looking over there. But so first of all, we had a really great year as far as the podcast went. We had quite a bit of we had a record year as far as downloads go. On the audio side. Our YouTube channel is growing, our Facebook is growing, and all that is thanks to the support from the viewers, from the listeners.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. To practice my princess wave. At some point, we got to watch the Princess Diaries with Lily because I'm pretty sure
we were on a Julie Andrews kick.
We were.
This holiday. We watched Eloise.
Yep.
Christmas. Apparently there are 2 of those with the same cast.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that? There's just Eloise
remember.
at the Plaza, and then there's Eloise at Christmas.
That makes sense because I think some of the stuff that happens in Eloise at Christmas is because of Eloise at the Plaza. It would make sense.
I looked it up on Wikipedia.
So we watched that. We watched The Sound of Music because Lily loves The Sound of Music.
She really does.
And we also watched Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Which the kids were mildly interested in. They had the wiggles that day.
It's a long movie.
It's
like almost 2.5 hours.
Well, and to be fair, The Sound of Music is also a long movie, and I'm pretty sure the kids did not make it through The Sound of Music.
They did not.
Yeah.
Actually, we stopped at Lily's favorite song. For whatever reason, like we went outside or something.
Wiggles. The kids have had lots of wiggles lately. Outside helps. Oh, I need to buy them snow pants. It's in my Amazon cart.
Yeah, fantastic year. In particular, I just wanted to shout out, of course, Truth Beer and Pod for always giving their version of whatever
it is that we do, apparently.
Whatever it is that we do or do not do. Also, Blake, the brewery explorer, and his amazing, plentiful amount of podcasts.
Yeah, he just did a lot of year-end reviews with a lot of people.
I don't know how he does it.
He doesn't have kids. That helps out a lot.
Well, I'm sure it does. But Blake, thank you for your support, of course. Zach Ollie and the 513 group, thank you for supporting us, for dealing with us and our daily postings about the beer event calendar.
It was a really good calendar.
It was, yeah. It was a good calendar. I really enjoyed it. I'm kind of sad that it's over, actually.
Yeah.
But and of course the Gnarly Gnome for kind of being the inspiration, the support of the Cincy Pod Squad, the
voice of reason at times, which is weird.
Voice of reason.
It's normally like after we get some piece of like rumor of something, he's like, "Come on, guys, like let's be real here."
Yeah, he's kind of the anchor in the Cincy Pod Squad because he kind of started it. As far as the people who are still going and stuff like that.
Yep.
And who else? Anyone else you want to shout out? My mom.
Yeah. Our parents, the kids. Lily was on the podcast and she did good-ish.
Oh, with the tree.
Yeah. She
I had to cut a lot out of that.
You did have to cut a lot out of that. It made a lot more sense post-edit than it did pre-edit. But now Lily constantly talks about, well, she was Peanut Gallery, but that was off mic, but you could still hear them. She talks about, when are we going to do our podcast?
Yeah, it's our podcast.
Yeah. Like she says, our podcast.
And she's not even a producer.
Nope.
Elliot is.
Yeah.
Which none of the producers are ever here.
No, occasionally Clara or Zoe are, but it's too cold for them now, so they're up in bed.
Yeah. No, so it was a great year for our podcast, and we appreciate the support, of course. So kind of moving on, and I might add to this list because we missed a very big milestone that you did.
Oh, we did. Oh, my goodness.
I don't know where that would fall in.
I don't know either. We can just talk about it now because Cincy Pod Squad. So Cincy Pod Squad decided they were going to run the Flying Pig Relay. And we did it, and we didn't die. And we all drank beer at the end. And we didn't die. Hashtag Team No Prep. Minus me. I ruined that by prepping.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I would have died if I didn't prep.
I don't know how you guys did it.
I honestly don't know either. I think it was just sheer will and determination. Because, like, I ran way more of that than I probably should have.
I know Marco is in the retail business. A lot of that is on it. He's on his feet.
Yeah.
It's not like he's sitting at a desk like I am.
Well, and he, like, used to run races, which was not something that I knew when we initially signed up for this.
Yeah.
Like, he slowly let those nuggets of information drop. And I'm like, okay, maybe we're not going to be as terrible as I thought we were.
Yeah, the gnome also runs around.
He runs around town getting all the beer.
Yeah. I mean, he does that. You guys did a good job. Yeah, that was a really big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It always sounds cool when you do that.
Is it already finished?
Yeah, this does not take long.
Oh, okay. But Yeah, that was a really big accomplishment, and I can't believe we forgot to put it on our list.
I can't either.
But kind of broke this out into 3 categories. The first one is family life. So we can start with Elliot. He's just his milestones, his growth as a tiny human.
He is a person.
He is a person with very strong
opinions.
Elliot had a really big year in 2024. He, if you can think back to that, he wasn't potty trained, so he got that done.
Yep. No more diapers.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
And then he started speech therapy.
Yep. He sounds amazing now.
And he continued it through preschool, which he started in the fall. So that was a really big deal because he's, personality-wise, he's the complete opposite as Lily.
He's a shy guy. He does have a lot of pizzazz, but it takes a hot second for him to warm up to you, so you can see that.
Yeah.
And he is very vocal on what he wants, and thanks to speech therapy, is getting easier to understand by his peers and people that are not in his immediate family, which has helped him out tremendously as well.
Yes. And that was our goal. So that was our goal with the speech therapy. He just needed a little more help with pronunciation, and he's getting it. So we're very grateful for that, for the teachers, for working with him, for everyone who's been helping him. So yeah, preschool, I drop him off. The first day of school, I was a little nervous. I didn't know if he would go in, without throwing a hissy fit. For the most part, I would say probably there's been at least twice where he's kind of...
I can specifically recall 2 different mornings
where he was screaming.
Where I got text messages from Joe in regards to Elliot's behavior.
He was screaming. And not because he didn't want to go to school necessarily, it was because he wanted to bring something to school.
Yeah, he wasn't going to school on his terms.
Right.
He didn't have the food that he wanted. He didn't have the outfit that he wanted or
something.
Yeah, he was not in the state of mind that he wanted to be in to go to school. So
yeah, we're really proud of him. So good job, Eli. So that's all about Elliot.
So now we've talked about Elliot. Do you want your bracelet?
Yeah. Well, let's see this.
So it's red, white, and black for the Bearcats. It has an XO on it because hugs and kisses from me. It has a shooting star because you're amazing and are going to shoot into the stars and be all like in history.
I'm having flashbacks of the penguin that you did. Can you get that?
And then a tribe because we're in the same tribe.
A tribe? What is it?
It's tribe.
Oh.
Tribe.
Okay, is this going to be big enough?
It'll stretch.
For my tiny hands.
Elliot was...
Edged hands.
Elliot put it on both of his ankles and was stretching his feet apart this afternoon. It was pretty funny.
So the second thing I wanted to say about our family life was we started back at getting heavily involved with the Donauschwaben Society.
Yup.
If you are a regular podcast listener, you probably would know the Donauschwaben Society out in on Corrine Avenue, 275 and Corrine Avenue behind the Lowe's.
And how there was the Michael Jackson of German dancing, but he retired.
I retired before COVID, before Lily was born, And we started the year with you and Lily going.
Yep. So I came out of retirement last Oktoberfest because Lily was allowed to dance. And I was like, well, if you're going to practice, then I'll go to practice too, because might as well. And then it was just trying to figure out how to convince Joe to come back.
Yeah, and then I said, Elliot, you can go to practice if you are potty trained. And then he did a really good job.
Yep.
And I went back the week before Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. So not quite a year yet, but we've been going, I think, almost every week, except for when we were, out of town.
Yep. The only reasons we've missed are due to being out of town or like the occasional sickness, but usually like whoever's not sick will go.
Yeah, there have been times when, someone was sick and you went and I didn't, but I think that was only once, actually.
Yeah.
So we were pretty good.
Knock on wood, like a bajillion times, we survived Christmas break without anyone getting sick.
Just a cough. I was sick for a little bit.
Yeah. But like...
just like a cough.
Neurovirus is going around. Your sister got that, and I was terrified it was going to wipe out the whole family.
What is that the stomach thing?
Yes, that is a stomach bug. That does not get killed by hand sanitizer. You got to wash that off. You got to wash that ish off with soap. Oh. Yeah, we all survived not getting that, which was good.
Yeah. So that's a good thing that happened.
Yeah. So Joe came back to dance, and then Elliot got to hang out with us at dance practice, which was interesting for him because he couldn't get his way a lot. So it was a very big learning experience for him.
He warmed up to it.
Eventually.
It took a couple weeks, though.
Yeah. Lily was enjoying going to practice. I think she's a little too comfortable now because she started getting some sillies. But we're going to work through that.
We're working on it.
She's still super excited to dance. Like, we had a big dance party before I started cooking dinner today. Choreographed and everything. Like, she was...
Yeah.
No, bud, this is what you have to do. She is large and in charge.
Yes. That's one way to put it.
Yep. And so then May, so like summer is kind of like the down season for at least the shoe plotlers because there aren't as many events that we dance at. But we found a pair of lederhosen that fit Joe still, and the Michael Jackson of German dancing came out of retirement.
I came out of retirement for Germania.
Yep.
In August.
Which I had to miss because I had pneumonia.
Yes. And then we went to St. Louis to dance.
Yep. You and the kids.
And then Saunders Oktoberfest. And then our Oktoberfest. There might have been something else in there too.
Yeah. But yeah, Joe's first practice back. We have the ask about Saunders Oktoberfest because the Oktoberfest we normally do that weekend is no more. So, hey, we can dance at Saunders because we've just been asked to dance at Saunders Oktoberfest. And they start taking names, and dance coach is like, did I miss anybody? And I'm like, yeah, Joe. And Joe looks at me like, what? This is literally my first practice back. And I'm like, well, you're in for it now, dude. You came to one practice. You're dancing at Saunders.
But before all of that, you had a really fun time dancing.
Yes.
Yeah, it was in April, right?
Yes. And I tried to get you to come back sooner. I tried to get your sister to come back sooner so we could all dance with the Cincinnati Pops together. Now, who would watch the kids in that situation? I got no idea. But we would have found a way to make it work. We would have conned somebody into it.
Logistically, I don't know.
But yeah, because logistically, Coach didn't read all the emails. And so we thought we just had to be there for like half an hour on Wednesday and maybe on Thursday. And it was no, we got to be there for like 4 hours on Wednesday and like 4 hours on Thursday.
Dress rehearsal.
Yep. It's all good. I was like, hey, Joe, I love you. We're going to hope we can get dinner at this place over there. I think I had liquid bread that night for dinner because it was raining and we picked the wrong direction to walk in to get food. Oh, no, but then Coach got us pizza. So it was fine. I had some of the pizza.
Was Hotzi in charge of that? Or was it Zach?
Was in charge of what?
Finding the food. Because you're pretty resourceful in that.
I think what was between, it was between radio. It was between Queen City Radio and it was a football bar that's like right across the street from FC Stadium. That's name I don't remember right now.
Yeah, I thought.
And it said they had food, but the food truck was closed that day. Or just was not, like the food truck's only open sometimes. So it's like, oh, we can go to either of these places. No, Queen City Radio definitely has more reliable food. So I was like, what's your maltiest beer? And they're like, what? And I'm like, do you have a half of Weissen? I'll do a half of Weissen.
Yeah, so it was fun to watch.
It was a lot of fun. And and then I only danced Friday and Saturday, but there were performances Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the performance on Sunday was live streamed, which confused the children because I was like, you're going to see the dance that mommy did all weekend. They're like, where are you, mom? And I'm like, this is happening right now. Mommy's right here, not there.
Yeah.
But I actually finally got to see all of the shows because I had a rough idea of what the order was. And we could see some of the performances on the TV in our room.
Yeah.
We couldn't really hear stuff, though, because everybody was too loud. But we never really got to see the performance before us or after us because we were always moving through the wings whenever that stuff happened. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it again.
I don't know if they do it. I think this is
this is a one-time kind of deal. Maybe it'll happen again, but it'll probably be like another 10 years.
Yeah.
When our friend Bonnie started dancing with the Shoe Plottlers, which would have been
2008.
Yeah, I think it was 2008. So that would be like 15-ish years ago. The Pops was doing something with the Von Trapp grandchildren. Mm-hmm. And so the Shoe Plottlers did 2 dances, and one of the Von Trapp grandchildren wanted to dance with them because they extended that offer out. Like, if one of you guys wants to dance with us, you can. Mm-hmm. And it was a 12-year-old. It was a 12-year-old grandson. And they're like, okay, well, 12 years old. He could be like short or he could be like super tall. And she was the shortest shoe plottler at the time. So they're like, hey, you're option A. And then this other one who's taller and has been with the group longer is the other option, just based on how tall he is. And so she got to dance with him. And so like she had not been dancing with the shoe plotters for very long.
Yeah.
She knew a lot of the stuff, but she wasn't like an expert. And it's like, I got to lead this guy through stuff. But sometimes that's how you learn the best. I didn't realize how well I knew one of our dances until I literally had to pull someone through the entire thing at a performance.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hey, I do know this dance better than I thought that I did.
Yeah. And she still talks about that, actually. She still brings it up.
It's a highlight. And like, as soon as I found out we were dancing with the Pops, because I wasn't around when we initially signed up for it. Or if I wasn't paying attention because I wasn't sure how involved I was going to be. I tried to get Joe and Jenna to start dancing again. Be like, hey, come dance with the Pops with me. But they didn't want to.
Well, it's like I said, logistics.
Logistics, it would have been a nightmare. The grandparents might have had an aneurysm.
They might have rebelled.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about some of the adventures, which we've covered. So we're not going to go into too much detail.
Yep.
Rather. At the beginning of the year, there was the big solar eclipse.
Oh, yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Do you remember that? We went to Harrison.
Yep. We hung out in Harrison. We were barely in the path of totality, but we were in totality.
Yeah, it got dark.
Yep. We got to see the 360-degree sunset.
Yeah. And it got cold.
It did.
It dropped like 20 degrees and the crickets started. And Elliot did not like it.
Nope.
He kind of freaked out a little bit.
He was like, okay, it's time to go inside now.
He did not like it at all. But I have a video of it and just of him with his, he made what is it? The plate with the sunglasses.
So because the internet told me that kids didn't always want to wear solar eclipse sunglasses completely on their eyes, they said, well, cut some holes and like a triangle out of a paper plate, and then you can decorate it to look like a moon. So they're more interested in it, and then they'll wear that. So you don't have to worry about like whether or not they're fully looking through the solar sunglasses while they're looking at the sun. The kids did not like that, though, because they wanted to be big kids. They wanted to be adults. But I managed to get them to wear it a few times.
No, he liked the plate for a little bit. But
It made her a Christmas card.
Yeah, it did. For sure. So that was a fun little... Like, when is the next one? Like 25 more years?
2045. I want to say it goes through the southern half of the United States. So we'll have to get in our RV and find a place to camp out down there.
Okay. We traveled quite a bit this year, which
we did.
We used to travel before kids, but then, of course, we had kids, and then COVID happened.
It was more the "and COVID happened" thing. Because we had been working on, so COVID happened. We might have been like mildly talking about like going to a beach that summer with your parents. Though vacation time was really wonky at that point too, because like maternity leave and I was working part-time and trying to sort all that out. But like we had talked about potentially going to Myrtle Beach like in August with Lily and some friends. And then like the virus started spiking again and we're like, you know what? Never mind. We'll just stay home. Especially because Lily, we were told she couldn't get sick. And the few times that she had gotten sick before COVID, it was not great.
Yeah, she went to the hospital, but she's fine now.
Yep. Now she is a
3-month-old.
Perfectly fine 5-year-old who knows how to push all of our buttons with love.
That's one way to put it. So yeah, we traveled quite a bit. I'm gonna try to go in order. Myrtle Beach, we went with my family.
A lot less crying, which was good.
Last time we went to Myrtle Beach, Elliot was about 8 weeks old, and he was a chunky baby.
He was a chunky monkey. He did not like heat.
And it was cold in Cincinnati when we left because it was in May. It was coldish.
It was cool.
Yeah, because we left at 3 a.m.
Yeah. We might not have left at 3 a.m. We might have left at like 5 a.m.
Regardless, we left in the morning. It was cool. And it was Cincinnati weather, right? It was. Yeah. It wasn't.
He was in footy pajamas because footy pajamas are adorable.
Yeah. He was all bundled up in his car seat. And then we get to the border of South Carolina, midday. And it's in the south. It's May. And of course, it's a bit warmer in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And he did not like that.
No.
So I think we eventually changed him, right?
Eventually we changed his outfit.
But
eventually we turned the AC down in the car.
The damage was done.
Yeah.
So he was just not happy.
We learned a lot.
So this time, we had the Spotify.
We had the Spotify for the kids.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to listen to zero music for the kids.
Yeah. We had a tablet. That came in handy.
We used that twice. Once on the way down and maybe once or twice on the way back.
For movies. We downloaded movies.
We tried really hard to have movies be the last resort.
We had lots of coloring stuff.
Yeah, I had lots of little toys for him to play with in the car.
Yeah.
We tried to make like strategic stops. So instead of doing, because what we used to do would be like we get takeout for lunch and we would just like do Chinese fire drill in the rest stop parking lot, like not even pulling into a spot if neither of us had to go to the bathroom and just keep driving. Instead, we would make very strategic stops. Like we stopped at a place to sit down to eat lunch and let the kids run around as much as possible. Would take like half-hour stops at a rest stop to let the kids run around as much as possible. And left at 3:00 in the morning. I think it ended up being closer to 3:30, which was fine because the restaurant would not have been open.
Yeah.
Like we got there like 10 minutes after the restaurant opened instead of like 20 minutes before they opened if we had left when I wanted
to. You were yelling at me and my sister.
I was not yelling at your sister. Me and your sister were sitting on the couch waiting for you we could go get the kids.
Fair enough.
Revisionist history. We left at 3:00 in the morning. We made very strategic stops. Had a bunch of new stuff for the kids to play with and managed to get down there without a whole lot of screen time for the kids. I don't know how much screen time we had when we weren't driving, but the kids had a lot of fun in Myrtle Beach.
They enjoyed the sand and the...
Yeah, because this time we went in the beginning of June. So the water was a lot warmer. The sand wasn't super hot. They didn't super want to get in the water, but they loved the pool.
Yes.
And they loved the beach. And we all had a blast. Got a wagon that came in clutch. Your mom injured her knee again, but we all survived that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, your mom and dad didn't have a car. We also survived that because they flew down. So we drove down with two different cars. And we just shuffled people around to make driving to places work out. Didn't
like the AC go out? That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was the trip to Myrtle Beach with Elliot.
Gotcha.
So the trip to Myrtle Beach with Elliot, I think we talked about this already. The AC in your parents' van went out on the way down. So all we're getting is like texts from the passengers in the van complaining about how it's so hot. The AC don't work. They got all the windows open on the highway, just trying to stay cool. And it was probably like the middle of June. No, I think it was. It was same month. It was still May.
Yeah.
And so I told your dad that he had 2 days to figure out how to fix it himself or to get it to a repair place.
Oh my goodness.
Or I was going to take it to a repair place and I was going to send him the bill because I did not want to have to listen to everyone complain on the way back home.
Yeah. He listened.
He listened.
Yeah.
He picked out a repair place. I got up early one morning with him and we drove the car we dropped off his car, picked up donuts and came back. It was so early that nobody gave me their coffee orders when I asked for them. So I think only like 2 people got coffee. Everybody else like, where's my coffee? And I'm like, you didn't tell me what your order was, so I couldn't get it for you. Sorry, not sorry.
You know my coffee order, so that's not an excuse. We also went to Indianapolis for the week. Not a week, it was a couple of days.
Yeah, for a couple of days. I think we left on a Wednesday and left on a Wednesday. Oh, I think we left on a Wednesday or a Thursday. What did we do? Or we leave on a Friday.
We left on a Saturday.
Yeah, we left on a Oh, yeah, that's right. We left on a Saturday because we had so much stuff in our calendar. Lily had a birthday party. Your brother had a graduation party, so we split the part. We split the he split the party. I tried to combine party and team.
Party people.
And then recombined to leave Saturday night. So on Sunday morning we could drive to Gabus Arboretum.
Yes.
Which Lily and Elliot still talk about.
Yes,
Lily's like, when can we go to the train place that has the that has a playground that looks like a train and all the flowers and stuff? And I'm like, oh, homegirl, it gonna be a while. They enjoyed the museum. They enjoyed the zoo in Indianapolis. We visited a lot of breweries. We managed to visit 6 breweries in 3 days. 7 breweries in 4 days, if you include Westside, once we returned.
Yeah, we did. Why we went there when we returned?
We did.
Oh.
We went there before we went to the Foo Fighters concert, I think.
Oh, yeah, because we had to be back. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, it was like we managed to find like 4 days in our calendar that were sequential where we could go to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Completely bookended by events.
Yeah. That was crazy.
It was. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was a good time. I'm glad we did that.
And then we also went to Nashville, just the 2 of us.
Yeah, and at some point during that I got pneumonia.
Yeah.
So the trip started off really good. And then I just slowly gaslit myself into saying that I was just hungover until the drive home where I'm like, I'm pretty sure I have a fever. I'm pretty sure I'm super sick. And then the other day, Elliot was putting his foot on my water cup. And I'm like, dude, this is how you get mommy really sick. And then mommy's going to be stuck in bed for a week and we're not going to be able to do anything fun. Like what happened earlier this year. And Joe's like, what? When did that happen this year? And I'm like, I had pneumonia and I literally laid in bed for a week.
And I said, what did I say?
I don't remember.
I said I blocked that out of my mind.
Yeah, it was.
Because it was awful.
We all survived. Eventually we figured out what was wrong with me and we got me taken care of. And then Lily got pneumonia and we got her taken care of. We got her taken care of a lot faster because I was like, you know what? I just had this, so let's check her for that. And it was really easy when we needed to go in for our follow-up x-rays because it's just follow-up x-rays all around, girlfriend. I'll do it, then you do it.
She got sick after we went to St. Louis, though.
She did. She got sick much later.
Yeah.
Pneumonia went around this year. It was weird. Yeah,
so we also, me, the kids, and my dad, we went to St. Louis for the annual Danish Ramen Labor Day trip.
Yep, we punted that one to your dad.
My sister was there too.
Yeah, so we mildly forced him to go, but he wouldn't have gone if he didn't want to.
But my sister went down on the bus. Mm-hmm. My dad and I drove separate.
Which is the only way the whole family survived. Just imagine you, your dad, and your sister in a car for that long. Someone would be dead.
Well, I mean, my sister went down with us to Myrtle Beach, right?
And we barely survived.
And I think she was actually kind of helpful a little bit. And she entertained the kids and stuff.
You blocked out the last half hour of that car ride.
Well, the last half hour. Yeah. Sometimes she was more...
She tries to be helpful, and I understand the place in which she's coming from, but she does not have children, so she does not fully understand all of the mechanisms in play. We talked through it. It got better.
All right. So the last the last 2 weeks were the holidays.
Yep.
And we've also talked about this before. Our holiday traditions that we like to do with the kids. First one is obviously the Festival of Lights.
Yep. We only went once this year. But
Yeah. We only had time to go once.
Yeah.
Unless we went on a random, Tuesday or something.
yeah, and the weather never really worked out the random days when we thought about going.
Yeah.
But the kids remembered the jellyfish. So like we were about to leave and Lily's like, but the jellyfish. It's like, okay, yeah, we can wander through the jellyfish.
They were very excited about that, actually.
They were.
Elliot starts to point things out that he remembers.
Mm-hmm.
It's
They're whole people now. It's so cool.
Yeah. Just listening to them have conversations, just the two of them.
It's hilarious.
They just talk about different things and they have actual conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't make any sense to us, but it makes sense to them. So that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Other things that we do during the holidays, there's, of course, through their preschool, they have breakfast with Santa, which you have the pancake breakfast. There's a carnival on the others in the gym where it's just a bunch of crafts.
Yep.
And there's also Santa.
Crafts and games and Santa.
It's, mostly just the crafts. There's like probably 8 stations of different crafts you can do.
8 to 10. There's a lot.
It's a lot. It's involved.
Mm-hmm.
Very kind of well worth it, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I know I went to breakfast with Santa. I remember going to LaSalle for that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any of that. They just had the food.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I think that must have been like kindergarten or first grade.
I remember driving across like the state and across state lines to go to like spaghetti dinners and fried chicken dinners with my grandparents. I do not recall doing like breakfast with Santa stuff. Now, granted, I probably did do it because I was an only kid and an only grandkid on like 1.5 sides. So
the Boy Scouts had spaghetti dinners like at St. Ignatius.
Yeah, no, we went like all over the place.
Okay.
We went to the good ones, apparently.
Other stuff that we do with the kids through the preschool, they have the Christmas concert, which both kids were involved this year.
Yeah, both kids were involved with the school concert and the club concert, which was really adorable.
Yes. So the Donauschwaben has their annual Christmas party, and all the kids perform, and both of our kids performed this year.
Yeah, and they did a poem or a song where like 2 to 3 children would be the same thing. And so Lily remembers what she was. I think she was like
the Schneeman.
Yeah, Schneeman. She was like a snowman. I think Elliot was like a snowflake, or he was like a sleigh hoot.
A hat.
Yeah, he was a hat, a winter hat. And so like they'll start like saying Christmas words in German that we then have to realize what they're saying because they don't know exactly what they're saying. Because like Lily kept saying like Schneehoot, Schneehoot, and I'm like, a snow hat, a winter hat, and she's like, no, it's a hat for winter. And I'm like, okay, we just said the same thing, just in a different word. Like, okay, total comprehension is not yet there, but lots more German words are being said in our house.
Yes. And of course, we went to the conservatory.
Yeah, which is a tradition for me that you didn't really know was a thing until I introduced you to it.
No, I've never been to the conservatory until you drug me along.
Yep, the Crone Conservatory is so much fun.
The Crone Conservatory, to be specific, yeah.
Yeah.
And there are trains there, so Elliot liked that. There are flowers there, so Lily liked that.
Yep.
And they both really enjoyed the live nativity scene, which is outside. We went last year. I went. I might have been the first time I went.
I think it might have been the first time that you went to the train, the Christmas with the kids. Because I know I've gone with, I think like I went with Lily, with Mom on maternity leave at some point.
Oh, I think I did. I went to the butterfly thing.
Yeah.
with the Hungarians in like 2008.
Which we have to go to that this year because Lily would love that.
Well, it wouldn't have been butterflies. It would have been in August. It was right before Labor Day.
They have like 2 or 3 different things that they'll do throughout the year. The butterflies are the big one.
That's in the spring, right?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been that. So we went.
I mean, it exists all the time. And it's open all the time.
But, yeah, I remember going with the Hungarians.
Mm-hmm.
And right before Labor Day in 2008. I remember that because I was the only one not in school.
Yeah, because you see.
Yeah, because of.
You see.
Yeah. So yeah, we did that. We went through the rooms twice.
Yep.
So we got our money's worth.
Mm-hmm. And we went to 50 West afterwards.
Yeah, which we did that last year too.
Yep.
It was a lot colder last year. We were outside. And the kids, I guess they were fine last year. Because I remember being cold, but the kids were right there, I guess.
We might have had them more bundled up.
Yeah.
This year we didn't have them super bundled up.
There was the fireplace.
Yeah, the fire pits were going. I think we also went like later in the day.
It was dark.
Yeah, because it was dark when we were at 50 West.
Yeah. It was dark when we went, I think. But it gets dark early and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, we went to the museum center. So, the museum center, we didn't really do any of they had the Holiday Junction. So,
yeah, they have the Duke Energy Holiday Junction Christmas trains.
So that was Christmassy, I guess.
Yeah.
But mostly we just went to the Children's Museum.
Well, we spent a lot of time at the Cincinnati train layout with both kids because they both really enjoyed that. Cruised through the rest of the Cincinnati Museum, saw the holiday trains, and then saw the Children's Museum.
Which I haven't been to the Children's Museum in a very long time.
Not a whole lot has changed, but a little bit has changed.
I don't remember the ball thing.
The ball, that dude. Okay, so this is where your daughter gets it from. I recall lots of visits to that children's museum where I am coordinating other children to get as many balls in the dropper before it drops.
Yeah. They were all doing that. All the kids were doing that.
No, like coordinating children, giving them tasks.
They didn't need coordinating. They are doing a pretty good job. Yeah, I guess that must have been like I don't know.
It's been there for a long while.
Like pre-COVID?
I went when I was Lily's age. I also went to the museum center as a kid.
The ball thing was there?
Yeah, a lot more than you did. Because I went a lot with Mary Jane.
I remember it being more constricted.
I
remember the lily pad thing with the frogs, with the Girl Scouts. We went with the Girl Scouts.
You're thinking of Newport Aquarium. Like with like frogs that you can sit on. That's Newport Aquarium.
Oh, okay.
So the water table, the indoor tree house, and the ball area and the village. Those have always been main staples. I always remember those existing. The village has changed up a little bit, but it's more everything that's there has been there to some extent. It's just a matter of whether or not it's gotten a refresh.
Well, then I don't remember ever going to the Children's Museum then.
You might not have.
Like, not since. So if you're saying.
Because I think I also went there with CRC. Because I went to CRC summer camp 3 different years.
I mean, I remember going there like with class, like as a field trip. I remember eating in the main place.
Yeah, and you usually focus more on like the Science Museum or the Cincinnati Museum when you do that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess. So I was thinking of the aquarium.
Yep. Frog, specifically aquarium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't remember Lily being able to walk. But I do remember because we went to the aquarium last year.
Yeah.
Or this year.
That was earlier this year,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, so it was, my mom got passes. We have until March. We're going to try to squeeze in at least one more visit. Mom has, quote unquote, paid off her pass at this point because we have visited more than enough times to justify the purchase of the pass.
Girl math.
I mean, I try to do that with the zoo pass. So we're gonna go at least one more time before her pass expires. Whether it'll be for Elliot's birthday or her birthday, I don't know yet. Probably Elliot's birthday at this point. Maybe her birthday too. Because the kids really enjoy it. And like the kids didn't even go to the like super fun half of the museum where there's the water table and then the indoor playground. We did the village. But
Yeah.
they spent a lot. Lily ran around that village like crazy. And it was hilarious because it was me, Mom, and Larry following her around. So it's just like this 5-year-old running through the village and then these 3 people slowly following her around.
Yeah. And then unfortunately we had to say goodbye to at least 2 places. I know there may have been more, but
2 places that we got to say final goodbyes to, where we knew they would be final goodbyes. How about we say that?
yeah. So Taft's Brewing, of course, closed. They're no longer a thing, but
Sinbev owns the brand. We shall see what stays in distro.
correct. So their beer is purchased. It's part of the Sinbev portfolio, along with Hudipole, Little Kings, Hootie Delight, all that stuff. Part of the legendary beer, I guess.
Yeah, they no longer have a tap room.
But their big church that closed in OTR, that tap room, that closed in 2023.
Yep.
They had a tap room, their Emporium in Columbus, that closed in October.
Yep.
I believe.
We had an episode about this.
We just did.
Just listen to the episode about it.
And then, of course, at the end of last year, they closed their Cincinnati tap room. So, and then Elliot's favorite place.
Yep.
Unfortunately, a lot of people's favorite place, actually, Entertainment Junction in Westchester.
Yep. Their last day is officially the 5th. I highly doubt we gonna try to go again. Between the weather and how crazy it was when we went on the 26th.
Right. Yeah. So we went. That was our last time to go, I guess. Unfortunately, it's a very it's mentally draining to go, especially for Elliot because he gets so excited. Lily to a lesser degree, but Elliot especially, he loves trains.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad that we discovered it. I don't know if it was you or me who discovered it.
I mean, I knew that it existed. I think you might have been the one that said, let's go there.
I did not know it existed. But somehow I figured it out. I guess it was through Facebook or whatever. And I found it's this. So for those who don't know, it was, or it is this giant warehouse.
Yeah, it's the largest indoor train layout
Of model trains.
Yes.
So you go there and it's just trains everywhere, and they have these beautiful sets.
Made by volunteers or people that work there.
Historical set, like it's like very, very historical. It's
they take you through time periods. So like you start off with like the early days of railroading, and then like the
Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War time period, and then they get like modern.
Yeah. And then there are like streetcars, and there's a Christmas train. There was a Coney Island. I'm still kind of confused. Is that
It's Cincinnati's Coney Island.
It's Cincinnati's Coney Island. So they have that. It's not. There's no real trains there. It's just like
there's a streetcar, but yeah, it's all like there's a roller coaster and a love boat ride and the rocket ship
and
ride.
then you push the buttons and it'll move. And of course, the kids, just continue to push it.
Yeah,
and they have this
just like they push our buttons.
Yeah, they're really good at that. They have They had the museum there with the giant piston.
Yeah, the American Railroading Museum.
The life-sized piston with the different movie clips as well. Indiana Jones, the third Indiana Jones movie of India, going on this horse after stealing the whatever and falling into the pit of snakes. And that's his backstory or whatever. But no, it was a really well done museum. The owner, it's my understanding, he put it up for sale last year about this time, maybe a little later. And he was asking for a price. He couldn't get that price. So he decided to, I guess, sell.
Yep. I mean, that's kind of what you got to do at some point. So
he wanted to retire.
Yeah. To like use beer as an example, like Fib Farm, Fibonacci, they're for sale. I haven't heard anything about whether or not that deal has gone through, but it's like, okay, so Fib Farm, we said 12 months is our timeline of when we would like to be officially out. So if we don't have any good bites that we're willing to go with within 12 months, we're just out. And we're going to close up shop. That's essentially what he did, where he said, hey, this is my deadline. I'm not going to go past that. Peace out. Nobody took him up on it. If I had to spare $5 million lying around, maybe we could talk about it.
Well, it's too late now. So
it's definitely too late now.
A lot of it is getting distributed to different places.
Yeah.
Channel 12 was there when we were there, actually.
Because they had just sorted out, or like had just officially confirmed where everything was going. So the bulk, the main layout is going to Chattanooga, Tennessee. There's a museum that's going to be started there. The American Railroading Museum stuff is going to go to a place in Louisiana that already has a transportation museum, and they're just going to add on to what they already have.
I followed that. It's Mississippi, I thought.
Might have been something's going to Louisiana.
Okay. I followed someone. A brewery is taking some of the art in, I forget what it's called, but it's in Morrow, Ohio.
Okay. The hand crank train cars that were outside that we never got to see, those are going to a farm slightly north that I now follow on Facebook. So we can try to go visit those.
I think the play place was donated to a church.
Yeah, the play place is going to a church, and the fun house is going somewhere. But I don't remember where maybe the farmhouse is going somewhere in Mississippi. The fun house. I don't remember. The fun house is going somewhere.
The trains are going somewhere in Mississippi.
Okay. So there's also, because
I'm pretty sure.
There's two different outdoor trains, and maybe one of the outdoor trains is going to Mississippi. You could look it up.
But
I know it's on their Facebook page.
It is, yeah. But it couldn't be saved as is, so it's going to be distributed across the country in multiple pieces, I guess, which is good. At least it's not going to Rumpke.
Yeah. And now they've got a lot of, they're doing a lot of videos now on behind the scenes stuff, which is really cool. They've been super busy because everybody and their brother wants to do one last visit.
There was a bus there when we went. I'm pretty sure of people from out of town, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah. So A group led by Craig Fuller, owner of Firecrown Media, plans to purchase all items on the 25,000 square foot layout, the Thomas Museum, and the Thomas Outdoor Train. And they hope to open a transportation museum in Chattanooga. They're focusing on all forms of transportation, aviation, trucking, and boating are included in that as well. And the plan is to have the transportation museum operational by the end of 2025 or early 2026. The Kids Express hand crank car rides are going to be at Station Road Farm, which is in northern Cincinnati. The Model Railroad Museum will head to the American Railroading Museum. A new brewery set to open up in Morrow will have a lot of signage and other familiar items, and that's going to be Depot Brewing Company.
Yes.
So it's a new brewery.
It's a new brewery that's, I think, opening in 2025-ish.
I'm going to like them on Facebook here after this.
Yeah.
And then Matthew 25 Ministries is set to get the Amazing Funhouse, the Christmas, and the Halloween walkthroughs. And a local church will get the large soft play center.
And there was another one.
And there's nothing about Mississippi on here. Unless the Traintastic Interactive Railroading Museum is in Mississippi.
I thought it was.
It is. Okay. So the Traintastic Interactive Model Railroad Museum is in Mississippi.
I don't know if we'll be able to go to it because Mississippi's a drive.
A little bit. So goals, which we have not super talked about. But so at Christmas, Joe's aunt was talking about how they always went to Disney for trips. And now she like mildly regrets that because for them, it was just easy. It was okay. This is where we're going to go on vacation. Sweet.
She said Siesta Key.
Well, they went to Disney and they went to Siesta Key.
Yeah.
Those were like the two places that they would always go. So it was like always Florida and like always something in Florida because that was super easy. Well, there's another family that they're friends with where they made a point that they were going to get their kids to travel to all 50 states before they graduated high school.
That's crazy talk.
And they were about to visit Hawaii, which was going to cross off their last state. And she was like, I kind of wish we would have done something like that because they got to see the country. They got to do all of these different things versus just the same thing. Oh no, we've got a few states down. We're going to potentially hit another state this summer. Well, actually, we'll hit at least two states because we'll hit Georgia too. Georgia and Florida.
I mean, what are you counting? What do you mean Georgia? Like we're going to stay in Georgia?
We're going to drive through Georgia. I don't know what counts. As far as it just we visited it, or is it that we
drove through it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you have to do something in it.
Hey, we can.
I don't know. I mean, we can make up our own rules. I guess.
Can. So I mean, I kind of like that as far as like you're not always going to the same place. Now I like going to the same beach because you get to know the area a little bit better, and it makes it.
I mean,
a little nicer.
We do different things. I mean, I don't know.
We do.
Like as the kids get older, like we can go out west.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I don't like going to every single state. That's a silly goal.
You're a silly goal.
I don't know. I do want to visit the States versus exploring out, globally. Yeah. I think that's a wise goal, but that's a good goal. But
we still have 2040 on our calendar, though. You can't take that off your calendar.
That's fine.
I did tell your dad about that this week.
Yes. We did the global thing. We went before kids. We went to, we went to Europe. Mm-hmm. Not to Germany though. That's in 2040 apparently. No,
we can go before then. We can go before then. Just make it a point in your calendar for 2040. We are going to go visit Weinstefaner.
We did New York City. We did Washington, D.C., which both of those are extremely hard to travel with small kids.
Yeah, I do not want to do either of those cities with small children.
So we saw that. We can check that off. I don't really want to go back, to be honest. Out west, we can do like Mount Rushmore. We can do Yellowstone. We can do Route 66, I guess. I don't know.
There's the Grand Canyon. There's the Sequoias.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
We can do that when they're like in middle school-ish. Mm-hmm. Like they can kind of drive, sit and be quiet.
I was going to say, wait, they can kind of drive in middle school? You mean they can behave better in the car?
They can behave better in the car, and we can go out west a little bit. Maybe not Grand Canyon, but Mount Rushmore maybe.
Yeah.
But they've been to St. Louis. We travel with the Danish Robin.
Yeah.
Quite enough. So that's something.
Mm-hmm.
But we can talk a little bit more about 2025, which I have my list here. As I said, I am partaking in dry January. I've never done it before.
Mm-hmm. I might do like dry March. I ain't doing dry January. I did not have enough prep for this.
Okay, whatever. March's beer is Bachfest. So why would you do it during Bachfest?
After Bachfest.
Okay. So I am drinking the non-alcoholic beer throughout January, if I drink that at all. But looking to get more healthier, more active. We have the treadmill.
I need to start using that in the mornings again now that I'm not sick.
Yes. We need to bump up the step goals and get more active. Mm-hmm. And get away from the computer because I sit a lot. They say sitting is this generation's smoking. So it's like, you're smoking several packs of cigarettes because you just sit for 8 hours and do nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to try to mitigate that a little bit. And we are going to try to be more consistent. I know we say that every year, but once a week, Thursday. I guess this will drop on Friday.
Yeah. As of right now, we have not committed to do anything live.
Yeah, I'm trying to study YouTube and, try to be better at it. I think it gets confused when you post videos inconsistently and then you do live shows inconsistently. So either we need to be a channel that exclusively just posts videos and tries to be consistent, or we need to be a live channel, a channel that does live streams and tries to be consistent with that. Mm-hmm. Ideally, you would do what the gnome does and stream constantly, same time-ish, same day.
Ish. There's a very heavy ish in that.
Same day. You do that every week. YouTube, the algorithm seems to like that. But I don't know. I haven't seen his stats, but from what I've read, the algorithm seems to like consistency. That's a big thing. So we're going to try to be consistent. We're going to try to grow. We're still looking to get to that 50 subscribers threshold so we can do stuff on the go.
Yeah.
Which the gnome says, it's not that great, but we need to run around the go because the Wi-Fi sucks. But
yeah,
typically. But that's our goal, to be consistent, nevertheless. And we're hoping to grow as well, just like we did in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And then something to look forward to in 2025, Lily will be starting kindergarten in the fall. So she will be in out of the preschool into the big girl school. She'll have homework, God help us. And kindergarten is a big deal these days.
A little bit.
They have, like I said, they have homework. They're a bit more strict. I don't know if she'll be doing full day or half day. But I guess we'll find out once we go to the open house here in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But she is ready. Like academically, she is ready. Socially, she is ready.
Yeah.
She's very ready. She's very social. And I think she'll do good in kindergarten, but it's going to take some work. It's going to be a different setting than preschool for sure. So it's going to be a transition. There's going to need to be a transition. There's going to need to be some adjustments. But that happens in, I guess, late August. So good luck to us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything else you want to look forward to?
I just double checked that I didn't miss the start of registration for school, and I did not yet. It's not yet open. Looking forward to another vacation. We're chatting about visiting family down in Florida. Haven't gotten an update on that yet, so I need to see what's going on with that. I finished a project right before the end of the year, so that was cool. I'm hoping to get into at least one more craft fair this year than I did last year.
Yeah.
Try to get some quote unquote craft crap out of the house.
Who are you quoting?
Just this person that I know who may or may not be sometimes referred to as the Michael Jackson of German dancing.
Yeah.
It's possible.
No one refers to me as that. That's just
That's like insane shit.
That seems like false information that a certain podcast would say to spread, to slander me.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
I have buttons.
Yeah. Before we get too much off the rails,
We've been doing this for almost 90 minutes.
Holy cow.
Great. Here, listen.
Wow. Thank you again for listening to us rant about our year and the stuff that we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here with us. Well, this is the start of volume 5.
Yep. I
guess the 5th year.
Mm-hmm. We're almost to that 5-year anniversary because Elliot's almost 4.
Well, no, the 5th year anniversary will be next March.
Okay. So we're almost to a 4-year.
But
it's confusing.
I know.
It's like centuries versus. Oh my goodness. What is it? So it's like, is this like the 15th century is the 1400s?
Yeah.
It's like confusing.
Yeah. It's, so I did the volumes, based on the year. So, this would be the 5th calendar year.
Yes.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So volume 5.
Yeah.
So, we've been doing this for quite a while. Above average for sure. Woohoo. With the podcasting. Somehow we've made it through.
I don't even know what episode number we're on.
Well, I renamed them. So.
You did, which annoyed people and confused me.
Well,
we're in the 230s now.
Yeah.
Our 230s.
Yeah. Mom jokes. Thank you so much for being here. This is the Craft Parenting Podcast, podcast about 2 Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem. So my name is Joe. This is Caroline. You can follow me personally on Instagram at Craft Parenting Joe.
And I am at Caroline Creates Crafts. I'm posting more craft stuff. Kind of.
Yeah, and I don't really post that much anymore, but
it's dry January. We'll see how much he posts.
Yeah. We will be back next week. We'll be talking about dry January.
Oh, snap.
and some other things.
I can't wait to find out.
Yet to be determined. But yeah, we'll see you next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast.
Slam that like button. Smash subscribe. Ring that notification bell. 5 stars. craftparentingpodcast.com.
Yes, you do that.
Bam.
Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff.